Hello, we're back again, and I got my friend as well too. Actually assisting me today, my lovely assistant, Chatty McNewsface. Say hello, Chatty. Yeah, she's always talking. Yeah. Anyway, so the Western mainstream media is nothing more than a propaganda machine churning out narratives bought and paid for by the highest bidder. These bidders are the often shadowy and sinister forces, psychopathic billionaires, profit-driven pharmaceutical giants, and malevolent intelligence agencies intent on resource stealing. Fake pandemics and death for cash schemes, monopolistic practices are least of their crimes, and we will include the apartheid genocide state called Israel to this list. I think, yeah, South Africa knows what an apartheid is. So let's get back to, by the way, this is Forces of Freedom and Fascism. And so welcome. Someone said to me today, so why do you promote fascism? I do not promote fascism. I report journalistically on the topic of fascism and other nefarious organizational schemes. I actually don't promote either freedom or fascism, but merely give you the truth about it. So actually, yeah, I do promote freedom, of course, by exposing the truth. Do I not? Of course, I do. I'm a freedom promoter. So getting back to Ukraine, it's crucial to understand how this horrific war has been nothing more than a death for dollars money laundering scheme. Here's Breitbart. Yes, I read Breitbart once in a while. He claims Ukraine received less than half of U.S. aid. Don't know where all that money went. Besides the money laundering of American aid money to Ukraine, the other reason to punish Russia is for literally helping America combat terrorism. So Russia is guilty of helping the U.S. combat terrorism. This is the only thing that Russia did wrong. So why is that? Pretty interesting. Al-Qaeda linked rebels in Syria say they love Israel. USA gave them billions of weapons and support. What kind of terrorists are you, man? You're supposed to not like Israel. So this is unusual. This goes back. So they're always in our pocket, really. You know that. So the fake terrorists. The U.S. spent billions over years arming and training militants in Syria. Many linked Al-Qaeda and ISIS, the people that used to cut people's heads off. So it's kind of interesting to find out that we could have just hired. No, they were hired already in the first place, right? So fake terrorists is a thing now, admitted. So the extremist rebels who took over the country told the Israel media they love Israel. Go back to terrorists. Cool, come on. I think I'm just making it plain here that this is fake terrorism. It was always fake terrorism. Here's the last one here. American Zionist plot behind jihadist Syria offensive, Iran. So this is some information from Iran. It's also good to consult with them once in a while. They had a secular democracy back in 1953 before the CIA overthrew a perfectly good, not Muslim, perfectly secular democracy that was doing great until we wanted their oil. And that's when we put the Shah back into place. It's kind of like going into England, taking out Tony Blair, and putting in Queen Elizabeth. Now, Queen Elizabeth is in charge. We took out Tony Blair and put him in prison. That's exactly... And people are saying, well, why does Iran hate us? Because they don't like our freedoms. Former U.S. official said that the terrorist group rampaging through the country is an asset of Washington. They were always probably. The U.S. and Israel are responsible for the resurgence of Salafist terrorism in Syria. Iranian foreign minister has claimed, adding the Tehran will support the efforts by the government in Damascus aimed to halt the ongoing jihadist offensive. So we see how Iran is fighting for against jihadists, right? So apparently we don't want Russia's help to fight terrorists. In fact, the Western military gets downright offended if you help them with their problem with terrorism. But anyway, it turns out terrorists were just CIA assets the whole time. Well, more accurately, paid goons starting all the way way back, decades to the Bush era, picked up by the puppet Obama. Both I consider to be deep state. A big congrats to Trump, by the way. He seems to be cleaning up quite a few parts of the deep state. So far he cut USAID, which is a regime change, CIA cutout organization that does 1% good things and proclaim it to everyone so that they can do 99% complete evil and then continually cover it up. CIA coups. I know in Ukraine that's who was responsible for giving $5 billion to again hire a bunch of goons to help do a coup back in 2014. And this was, again, this was what caused Russia to come in and start. But I mean, they were patient. All that was 2014 all the way up to 2022 when they had Azov neo-Nazi battalions killing Russian-speaking Eastern Ukrainians, finally breaking the straw, or breaking the camel's back, the straw that broke the camel's back, basically. So yeah, so 1% good things, proclaim it to everyone, 99% evil, cover it up. And honestly, everyone should be breathing a sigh of relief because we just dodged a nuclear nightmare. Does anyone even realize how close we were to a war with a superior nuclear military force? I mean, I've analyzed Russia's capabilities, and let's just say they've got hypersonic missiles. Apparently the West does not. These things fly 10 to 20 times faster than sound, reach their target in 20 minutes, which is about how long it takes me to find my car keys. The Super Tsar takes out an area of Texas, making Trump the most responsible leader for seeking peace. However, Europe has currently rejected and wants to continue escalating. Can you imagine? Oh man, Europe could be laid to waste in like 10 minutes. So this happened in the dying days of the president, the Biden president.
Reversing a long-standing U.S. policy involving the war in Ukraine. Biden now going to allow Ukrainian forces to use long-range U.S. weapons inside of Russia for the very first time.
All right, that's a bit of old news, but again, like I said, in the dying days of the Biden presidency, Biden or whoever was in charge, most likely the Kennedy killing intelligence agencies, were doing their best to provoke Russia in a nuclear war with the ATACMS long-range missile strikes hitting into the heart of Russia. So 90% of Ukraine missiles were shot down, and exactly 0% of Russia's missiles were being intercepted. If and had cackling deep state Kamala won the election, and I was Putin, I'll just do a preemptive nuclear strike. I would consider that there's no choice in the matter. The deep state is in, I don't know what the elite of our deep state will probably have planes and other places and properties and islands in the middle of the ocean somewhere, possibly, that they can get away to. And so they really don't care. It's and all of us average Joes would be left to be walking light bulbs. But anyway, or yeah, he would be dead, right? Anyway, so with getting back to the Middle East, though, I don't know what this is about, Ukraine or the Middle East. I don't know. Anyway, we're gonna see how it all connects. So that's why I guess we'll figure it out. So getting back to the Middle East, I still have an eye on the Republicans' policy in the Middle East. I have my eye on that guy there because, will the West continue to mess up the Middle East at the behest of Israel? All that AIPAC money flying around, I was quite astonished at Netanyahu's standing ovations in Congress. I've never seen so much clapping for things so horrible like genocide and apartheid, clapping incessantly like wind-up monkey toys with symbols. You know the ones that I'm talking about. Can you imagine listening to this for 10 hours? Who listens to this for 10 hours? Going like stark raving mad. We give $15 billion, U.S. taxpayers' dollars, to this guy. I mean, this guy, to only 7 million people. Only 7 million people only. In Israel, I'm talking about, they don't have to work, do they? They could just work on their degrees. And then American politicians get back, like a backwash. Like, there's a big backwash in AIPAC donations and bribes. Allegedly, basically. Remember and then American politicians get a big backwash in AIPAC donations and bribes. Allegedly, basically. Remember what I said in previous videos? Bribery is like an iceberg. So what you can see is only 10%. The rest of it is hidden under the water. So how's Trump going to navigate this issue? How much money did Congress get from Israel to clap like a bunch of wind-up monkeys? I got a couple other clips from the clapping monkey Congress clown show, and it indicates that Netanyahu wants to have continued neocolonialism, aka resource stealing, oil stealing, specifically of the surrounding countries. So let's take a look at this, check it out. He actually says two things here. He is developing advanced weapons so that he can subjugate the peoples in that area to neocolonialism and regime changes and never-ending wars. So the Israel problem continues to be a thorn in America's and the world's badunkadunk because it's extra curvy. Netanyahu wants continued wars. So let's watch this and listen to what he says here. Hopefully you can hear this.
Develop some of the most sophisticated weapons on earth. I choose my words carefully. We've jointly developed some of the most sophisticated weapons on earth that help protect both our countries. And we also help keep American boots. We help keep Americans' boots off the ground while protecting our shared interests in the Middle East.
There they go. I will say it straight. Shared interests is code for the resources I'm about to steal and kill for. Why would American boots be on the ground for? Fake terrorism, regime change, and resource stealing. He thinks we're going to continue that bullshit. I do have faith in Trump, however. So we'll see, though. So I got my eye on him. So far, so good, but we'll see. So many people I thought were the good guy or good girl only succeeded in disappointing. And now this excerpt from the video. And now this excerpt from the video. And now this excerpt from the video.
Give us the tools and we'll finish the job. Today, as Israel fights on the front line of civilization, I too appeal to America. Give us the tools faster and we'll finish the job faster.
Oh, there they go. There they go. Oh, we get it. Yeah. So this means giving Israel $15 billion per year to fuel wars isn't enough. Isn't enough. Not enough. We'll pay anything. Anything? Your soul. This is just, it is what it is. So now here's my vision for the broader Israel. Check this out. So one more. And
now here's my vision for the broader Middle East.
What's the broader Middle East to him? What if someone in Jordan, Egypt could care less about him? So here it is right here. Take a look at this. So this is it. Let's get me out of the way here. Let's take a look at this. 100% of Palestine. This is Greater Israel. This is the whole thing here. Greater Israel. Here's another map. Greater Israel. So this is the plan, the whole time, right? It's quite evident. So where did they get this idea from? This is from multiple different websites. So why does the map all look the same, right? So this is the plan the whole time. And I gotta say, they have a lot of this already. So Iraq, if you think about Iraq, it's completely, totally destroyed. Still continues to be from the Bush era. And they control it. They don't necessarily control it, but it's under control, let's say. And Jordan, I'm not certain if they bought out their president and politicians. That's a possibility. I gotta look into that. But they definitely have Syria now. And with Syria, I mean, it was the HTS, remember that? So if we go back, we're going to take a look at Syria again in a minute here. I don't know if they have Egypt. They don't have Egypt. So they don't have Egypt. I have no idea how they're going to get the top part of Saudi Arabia. But I have to say, this is what our foreign policy has been. We're going to attack in a clockwise fashion or counterclockwise fashion all around Israel, if you notice this. So this was always the plan. And this is because, they get $15 billion. We give them $15 billion. There's a big backwash of cash. And both the Republicans and the Democrats. So we're still in the deep state. I still have faith in Trump. He wants to turn Gaza into Trump Gaza. It's a play on words for Trump Plaza. So we'll see how... I'm a little bit confused with how he's going to swing that. But yeah, he's... I got my eye on him, let's say. Hopefully I got faith in him, but... This is it. So I've showed you, this is it right here behind us. This is the vision of the larger Middle East. Right here is what we're looking at. It's Greater Israel. And I just want to get back and show you, they do own, like, Iraq, they own Palestine. Let's go back to here. 100% of Jordan, 100% of Lebanon, 70% of this. Syria. And Syria they now own as well, too. Let's go back to this. Remember our pocket terrorists? So this is called Hayat Tahrir al-Sham. It's called HTS. And they love, apparently, Israel. His biography describes him as a CIA recruit. He joined Al-Qaeda in Iraq during the invasion of Iraq. He quickly rose to the ranks. Spent 2 years training in a camp in Bucha, where the U.S. allegedly created ISIS before being released without cause from Bucha. And they followed this guy around. And this is what runs Syria now, the HTS, who are in the pocket of CIA and Mossad. And they're running that particular country right now. That's not going to last. It never does, because people hate when you get run by Israel and by some other country. So, and pretend like we're puppets. So eventually, the people, they can't keep that going forever, and then sometimes they fall apart. We'll see. If the rulers are always tyrants, and they eventually revolt and establish another democracy to be overthrown by CIA once again. We'll see. All right, that's what I have for today. Have yourself a great one. I still have faith in Trump. We're going to see what happens. All right, peace out.